Hi, it's Lori with Positive Thanks Living, and I made this little trifold tag, just exactly what it shows here. If you see, I just cut it off here, cut it off here, cut it off here and here, and cut it out so that the notches are there, and rounded the corners and used washi tape down the folds so that it folds nicely, and folding it open and closed a number of times won't matter. So this is going to go into my tea journal, and the journal will have a bunch of tags. Now I'm using CaraBrandon's Tea Party digitals. There's 3 sets. One is pretty in pink, one is the green, pretty in green, and then there is, I don't know if I can find the actual name of it. It's a Tea Party digital. So 3 sets. Here's one tag that'll go in, and it's a trifold tag. And then I have these, but if you see, they're kind of flimsy. I printed on a South something. I'll link below what it is. Linen paper. I don't know if you can see the texture in the paper, but it's a bit flimsy for a tag. So I have to attach these to some more sturdy paper. I'm going to go and find it. Be right back. And I'm back. Here is the paper. It's a little more, it's a greater GSM, greater width of paper. And when I glue these onto here, they're going to have some heft to it, but not be too, not be too thick, add too much to the journal. Because I'm making the journal from this mailer and covering it with some linen napkins and then a pretty thing over top. So it's a one signature, but it'll be quite thick because I have so much beautiful things to add, like these. So the tags can't be too thick. That's the gist. But I still want to have some substance. What I'm going to do is just glue the areas that are going to be, that I want to sew on. I'll cut them out and then sew around them. So glue stick, I wouldn't normally just only use glue stick. Because of this linen paper is a beautiful texture and a nice weight, sometimes my art glitter glue shows through, and that bothers me. So that's why I'm going to do a lot of sewing in this journal, including the tags. The glue stick will work while I am, until I take it to be sewn. Just lay it down here. Very nicely. And I use this old card. I have a brayer, but it's very squeaky. So I won't use it on the and once I cut them out, I'll also put them through my it's a die cutter machine, not the machine, but it's a hand crank thing, and I find that really causes the glue to adhere. And the sewing will make it stay once I sew it. So there's one. Next here, this is the pretty in pink. These are the tags from that. There are so many options. I haven't actually counted the number of pages in the 3 kits, but there's at least 8 in each kit. And I didn't print out all 8. I'm picking and choosing for the feel of this journal. Like there's some images that are very Jane Austen-ish, 18th century, maybe 19th century images of women and such, and that's not the vibe that I'm going for in this journal. So because Cara, she provides so many options, each one of us that'll be using this digital kit in our design team will come out with something completely different, and it'll be fun to see the differences. I know that her name escapes me. I'm going to link below. She did a flip through of all the pages in the kit. And if you're interested in seeing it, in addition to going to Cara's Etsy store to look at it yourself, you can see all the pages that are in there. Okay, we put a nice amount of glue stick on here, and I'm laying it down. And yes, I am going to be wasting some paper when I cut away things, but I find at this point this is my best option. The least amount of aggravation I have when I'm cutting it out. Yeah. I've been waiting for Cara to make this kit for a long time. Our history as a family, we drink tea. Not a lot of flavored teas, but good old-fashioned, orange pekoe kind of tea. And our grandchildren, as soon as they're old enough to hold a cup, I bring the pretty teapot and teacups out, including for them, and they have their little teacups with mostly milk and some tea, and they like that kind of ritual. Yeah, I guess you'd call it a ritual. All right, here's the third one. Now I have to make sure that I'm working here. Do you drink tea? Are you a tea aficionado, or do you like the concept of afternoon tea? The Downton Abbey thing. But my husband's family has been doing this for drinking tea and having tea time much longer than my family of origin. His family is British, or at least British, Irish, Scottish. And with all the pretty teacups and such. Our children grew up with drinking tea the way we're introducing our grandchildren to drinking tea. We even, for Christmas time, there's a place, we live in North Carolina, and there's a place about an hour and a half away called Greensboro, and there is a place to have fancy tea, and we went this past Christmas, and we'll probably make this a tradition as a family to go and have a tea experience. I'll put some pictures at the end so you can see our family enjoying tea at this place. It's called the Henry Hotel. There we go. Sorry, I had a brain fog right there for a second. The O. Henry Hotel, and he was a short story writer. He wrote The Gift of the Magi. If you haven't read any of his stories, I recommend it. So you go into the hotel lobby and they serve an afternoon tea with the 3-tier tea. Bottom you have little sandwiches, in the middle you have some other things, and the top you have the desserts, like scones or scones. Some people call it scones. My husband's family from Scotland call it scones, so that's what we call it. Yeah. Afternoon tea. It's a lovely tradition to start. Doesn't cost a lot of money, doesn't take a lot of time, and yet you can still enjoy each other and feel you've done something special. Okay, I'll come back once these have dried thoroughly. See how they're starting to curl a little bit? I'm going to let them dry under a book so that they're nice and flat, and then I'll cut them out and sew around them and finish them, decorate them a bit. This one is ready anyhow. So anytime you have a digital where you have 3 of them, you can make a trifold tag concept. Take care. It's Lori, Positive Thanks Living, and I'll be back to show you the finished product a little bit later. Hi, it's Lori, and I'm back. It's actually a couple days later. I'm finished all the tags, and I'm going to show you in a minute, but I've also worked on the cover of the journal. It's not completely done, and I have the pages that I'm going to use, and they're not completely done yet, but you know, you can see this is a 2 linen napkins that I've sewed on to a mailer, one of those Amazon ones we get, the paper mailers. And I have to position this and sew it on and sew this on and add a few other things. And these are the papers that are going to go in it. This is a card, and I've just started putting things together, but it gives you a sense. I have a book that was about tea parties, and so some of the pages I've included. And again, I'm not done preparing the pages, but I'm giving you a little glimpse into what they'll look like. And then I'm going to show you the tags that I've completed. So this is halfway folded, these pages from the book. And I'll probably do something attached to the edges of those pages, just so they're more interesting, or to add some opportunities for things that are hidden or tucked. Or yeah, I don't have any pockets put in yet, but it's coming together. See? I'm really excited. I just love these digitals. It sparked my imagination so much. Isn't that gorgeous? I have to say, this is my favorite of Cara Brandon so far, of all her digitals. And the papers that I've chosen to include are more, I wouldn't use the word contemporary, but they don't have, I'm not using any of the vintagey styles. So this journal is going to be more about, I don't know, tea parties, I guess. Okay, let's look at the tags. And these ones are all sewn. You watched as I did the gluing, and I cut them out. And on the small ones, I've added die cuts. And I have tea cups and tea pots for the die cuts. And they're pretty simple. Just added some of this ribbon to make them more pretty than they are already, and sewed around the edges. So those are the small ones, all done. And these are the larger ones. Now this is the trifold that I showed you earlier, and you can see that I've added this here. And I may still add something in the inside. I know it feels a little plain to me. What do you think? Would you add something in the inside? Leave a comment below, let me know. And then the larger tags. They have the grommet in there and some washi tape on the back. And adding things on the front and lace, lots of lace. I'm not usually a lace person, but this journal just seems to call out for lace. Washi tape. And this one, tea. I read you that at the beginning. This one is my favorite. And the welcome image. I have to say thank you to people that have gifted me things that I'm adding on. So there we go. The tags are done for this journal. The papers are chosen. The cover is begun. And next comes working on the pages, making them fit properly. And if you see how I did this one here, I have to find it now. This is Amity Bloom, her washi tape. Bloom tape, she calls it. So some of my treasured bloom tape that's, is included in this. I have to, that page, what did I do with the page? I want to show you the page that I've added, this one here. So this is an extended page. You can see how it wraps around. I want to do that on a few of them. I don't know whether I'm going to make this into a pocket or tuck, I guess, or just leave it like this. I have to yet decide. Your ideas? What do you think? Yeah, lots of things yet to complete, but I've got a good start. And usually the cover is my nemesis. I don't work well with covers, so this one, doing it right away has helped a lot. It kind of took the pressure off. So, and then I've got all these fussy cuts to add. And these are CaraBrandon's Tea Party digitals. There's 3 digitals. One is pretty in pink, one is pretty in green, and one is Garden Party. And I have quotes. I'll leave you with a quote. Tea, bless ordinary everyday afternoon tea. That's by Agatha Christie. Take care. This really is the end now. It's Lori at Positive Thanks Living. I'll leave some photos of our family as we went to the tea at the O. Henry Hotel in Greenville. It was a fancy tea we did at Christmas. Bye for now.